What's happening, so fam? It's Tarot Tuesday. So we have a couple major things happening right now, but before we get there, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on TikTok. My TikTok's all about manifestation. My Instagram's all about growing your spiritual business and staying on point, girl. All right, so anyway, we're surfing 4 different timelines right now, okay? So one of them is really dark. One of them is self-development. Another one has to do with a lot of love. And the third one is kind of like in the middle, okay? So what I want you to do is pick out one of these planets, okay? If you're more so concerned about money, you're going to really pay attention to the Jupiter reading. If you are more concerned about love, you're going to be picking Saturn. If you're more so concerned about a current struggle, like you feel like, oh, just all these things are just not working out for you, you're going to pick Uranus. And then if you're dealing with heart-centered things that need to be done, then we're going to really pick Venus. Venus is going to be like more opening up your heart center, okay? So you're going to pick one of these planets, whatever relates with you, whatever aligns with you. And then we're going to keep moving forward in this vibration, okay? So all the extra cards that are here are going to be kind of like supporting cards if it's not Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, or Uranus. And then we have the moon sector over here because right now we are in this phase coming over all the way through. So take a deep breath, take a deep breath, take a deep breath, and let's get started. So right now we're in the caduceus energy right here, and we're also dealing with the Taurus energy. So we just entered Taurus season, even though it says Aries right now, that's not actually correct. We're in Taurus season. Taurus is all about like going after the things you want and having courage. So right now you might be dealing with a little bit of fear, and you're like, oh my God, I gotta do this change, or oh my God, I have to like, work on myself in some way, shape, or form. Don't be afraid. Just go right through it, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because with the energy of the caduceus, we are bringing in the energy of healing that shows up during this time, okay? Remember, right now, we're all about balance, and we have to be like the totem of the tiger, which is being quick-witted, kind, versatile, and resourceful, okay? So you got to be thinking outside the box. We have the energy of the angel of the crown, which is your crown chakra, what's bringing in life into your reality. Since we had the full moon coming back all the way over into the new moon, we have a lot of Pharaoh, Egyptian energy and Atlantean energy coming in, okay? So we're kind of like surfing a colloidal energy of Atlantis and Egypt, ancient Egypt. Now, we stepped into a fertility state, okay, with the last moon cycle that stepped in. So right now what we really need to be thinking about is what we want to fertilize and how we're going to fertilize that, right? So like that might be a relationship with yourself or with work or with your business, whatever it is, right? You have to think about how you're going to keep fertilizing that particular project or situation and what you need to do to get there. So that may be a little bit of personal development on your end. It might be also just like, changing the way you do things in general. For a lot of people, it's kind of like just being honest and stepping into their power. Right now, there's a lot of that energy of speaking your truth. Now, as we walk now from this stage over, because this is where we're at right now, starting right here, we're in the energy of Neph, which is the energy of the golden cow. And if you're understanding this, it's pretty much like, what do you want to reap in your reality? In order to reap that, you're going to need some strength. And in order for you to do that, you're going to have to understand a little bit more about liberal sciences, astronomy, and even like the virtue of precious stones and stuff like that. So like, what is your own magic is pretty much what it's coming down to. The energy of Necros, which is the energy of death or necromancy, is very intense right now. So that's why we're feeling like death, transformation. We're seeing the collapse of a lot of different structures. We're seeing a lot of different truths that are presenting themselves into reality. And we're seeing like massive power shifts happening. Like, I believe today was when Elon Musk just acquired TikTok. It was like today or yesterday. I can't really tell. Time has been very like intercrossed for me. But yeah, in the last 2 days, like Elon Musk acquired TikTok and Twitter, and There's a lot of people who are freaking out about that, right? That's a huge power shift alone. Now, as we get deeper into this, we're going to have to really focus on our essence when it comes to what we're going to be rebirthing, that energy of Osiris, also making sure that we fight for what we believe in, and we also are in this energy of learning what is necessary. It's a learning curve right now. Everyone's going through a learning curve. That means you should be really practicing a lot on refining yourself as an individual, refining your business, refining your projects, right? Sometimes we have projects that we're building at a greater scale. Sometimes we have projects that are personal to us. So like if you're trying to become like someone who's getting in a new romantic relationship, for instance, maybe working on yourself and becoming more loving and more open to those types of energies is a step to go, right? Instead of just constantly asking for it. We have a lot of pleasure and happiness is going to be coming if you do that kind of work. We also have a lot of healing that shows up. Again, the fertility energy shows up with understanding how we manifested that fertility. So this is all going to be like a moment for us to really step into a higher sense of self. And then we also have the energy of the Kundalini, which comes in with a 1-for-1 trade, basically stepping into your truth, which is basically saying like the universe is going to give you exactly what you're going to be putting into it, right? So if you're putting in a lot of like dedication energy into yourself, the universe is going to be giving dedication energy to you. If you're dedicated to the universe will be dedicated to you. Again, coming back over to some of the previous readings that we've done with Hathor, talking about your, higher consciousness stepping into play, talking into the higher vibrations when it comes to being in love and living love, right? If you're able to do that, you're going to step into the energies of the Emperor, which is still Aries energy that's very strong, having the perspective of the eagle, that it gives you the ability to see higher realms of reality. Now, when we look at the 4 timelines that are currently surfing, these are the things that are about to happen no matter what on the moon cycle, right? We have to walk through this fertility aspect, strengthening ourselves, curtailing ourselves into the next beings that we want to be, etc., right? As the new moon comes back into play, it's about taking action and going after what we want and feeling this healing sensation. Now, the 4 timelines that are showing up, towards the west, there is the energy of the blaze, which in the west is about the past. We are blazing or burning away anything that no longer is in alignment with us. Towards the north, we're being told to focus on the things that we want to gravitate towards, the things that we want to bring into our reality. To the east, we're being told that there's a huge swing, the swing of the pendulum, that is really playing deeply into our reality and bringing in all the other things that we're looking for right now, if we're going to go in that direction of claiming what we want. Towards the south, it's about the energy of flight, which is letting go and flying away from things that have been keeping us captive. In the center here, we have the energy of Appear and the spinal sun, which is like another energy of the black hole. This is basically telling us that what we gravitate to us and what we focus on is going to be what appears for us. So this is a good message right now to be really focused on the actual messages, the actual energies that we want to be embodying. Don't focus on the negative, focus on the progression. The negative will disappear as long as you're focused on the progression. Now, depending on what kind of planets you picked, we're going to be diving into those in just a second. First, we're going to start looking at Neptune. Neptune is the higher aspect of Venus, and we're not going to read Venus just yet. We're going to read all the other cards before we dive into those planetary signatures. We have the energy of the 5 of Cups, which is feeling like you've missed out on something. And we also have the energy of the 6 of Cups, which is basically saying that like you've gotten the things that you wanted, and like the past might be seeming like it's a better opportunity than it is right now. This is a double-edged sword. It's basically telling you that depending on how you're focusing your spiritual energy is whether or not you're going to see resistance or you're going to see like this energy of expansion. This is also an energy that's telling you that if you're focusing more on the past, what was and what could have been, then you're going to basically be stuck in that energy and it's going to hold you back. Coming to the energies of Earth, we have the energy of the 2 of Swords, which is you need to allow yourself to balance yourself out. And we also have the energy of Justice, which is again balancing yourself out. This is about meditation and asking yourself what you truly want, and again coming back to that Taurus energy, going after it without fear. That cannot be any more clear. right? Whatever you balance out in the Neptune energies is going to be positive or negative for you. So Neptune is right now waiting for your response on what it is that you're going to focus. I really highly recommend that you start really writing down in your journal every day, like, wow, your life's amazing. Try to make sure that you're doing energy work every day. Bring into your life what you are, not what you want to be. Mars is coming up, pretty much reminding us the Tower. There are some major shifts that are going to be happening right here. We also have the Page of Wands, which is basically reminding us that as things are being destructed, we're being taught how to reconstruct at the same time. Again, we have the energy of Strength, which is reminding us, hey, you know, this is going to be something that requires us to really dedicate ourselves to the next shift. The Three of Pentacles, if you rely on your community and you create a good foundation with community, everything else is going to work out to your favor. Coming over to Mercury. Mercury is one of the foundational energies here. The Queen of Swords, you need to fight relentlessly for what you're looking for. Do not be caught in any other negative energy. Four of Pentacles, recognize that with everything that you desire, there's some sort of shifting that's necessary. Not saying that you need to heal yourself, more so understanding who you are and shifting any non-beliefs that might be there, right? So for me recently, it's been like, okay, I used to always tell myself, oh my God, I'm so burnt out making content. It's so tedious, it's so difficult. And now I'm coming into this way of like, that's just a narrative I created for myself, right? It's actually really easy. It comes to me naturally. And when I've been saying that narrative, I'm actually crushing my goals a little bit more easily. The Ten of Swords is telling you that you do not have to subscribe to anything that you do not want to hold on to. That is a personal limitation. Again, the cards are repeating themselves because they're telling you the power is in your hands. Do not allow yourself to be swallowed into any illusion that is not the illusion that you want to be embodying. The main outer energy that's coming in is the Hierophant. Which reality are you going to marry? That energy coming back down here to Neptune, basically saying you're going to marry the Five of Cups, which is difficulty, or the Six of Cups, which is pleasure and progression, okay? Now, in the center here, we have the energy of the High Priestess, which comes upside down, making, like, basically saying like what you've been doing is not working anymore. You have to change, because not changing is going to keep you in that negative energy. You also have to choose love, some form of love that helps you reach the next level. That energy of Venus coming back up to the main vibration that's controlling this entire year. And then we also have the Angel of Memory that's coming up on this end as well, basically remembering who we are internally, that we are eternally rich, that we can get whatever we want as long as we're willing to continuously change into becoming more of that person that we know we are so desperately in alignment with. Now we're going to jump over to Uranus. Remember, if you're struggling with something, Uranus is going to be your main pick, okay? If you're not really struggling with anything, you can skip to whatever other planet that you ended up picking. But right now, this is for all my homies that ended up picking Uranus. You're basically dealing with some sort of major limitation. What is going to bring you the vibrations or the emanation of life? That's the main first thing that's going to come through here. Like, what's not giving you life? That's an indication as to what you need to let go. Maybe you're not, pushing yourself to being more successful. Maybe you are relying on other people. If it's not bringing you life, let it go. Even if it seems difficult, let it go. If you're caught up on a relationship because you broke up with somebody and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, should I go back? Should I not? Let go of the what ifs of the past and move forward towards the opportunities of rebirthing yourself, life, okay? Now we have the energy of divination, which is the energy of the cosmos is giving you a lot of synchronicities right now to work with, but you need to understand that the main vibration for you is to destroy things. The Ruin card is very much so aligned with the Tower card in the vibration here of Aries or Mars, and it's also in tune with the kind of like destructive energy that's happening right now in our reality. So you really have to allow yourself right now to recognize that destroying is your best friend. Destruction is something you should be cultivating. You should cherish all the good friendships that you have and let go of anything that is not in alignment with that. That means family, friends, etc. We have the energy of the mist, which is the energy of like not being completely sure as to how this is going to play out at the long run, but that's okay. You're not supposed to know how things are going to play out just yet. You're just supposed to be claiming your energy. This is about reclaiming your energy and really saying, this is who I am and this is who I choose to be. Coming back to the energy of time, time is going to be bending itself profusely right now so that you can understand all the aspects that are happening. And we come back again to the energy of life for the second time, completing this reading, basically telling you, if you're not choosing life, then you're choosing death. You need to be choosing every aspect that is going to give you life. Doesn't matter what it is, where it's coming from, or how difficult it is to really go after that particular vibration of life. If you are not vibrating at the speed of life, then you are not living at all. The energy of the crown, which shows up over here as well, is the main ruler of this energy. So remember, it's about fertility, strength, again, you know, how you're going to create your happiness, and are you going to live in that highest truth. So if you picked Uranus, rewind it again and listen to what I told you over here, because this is resonating back and forth very, very deeply. Okay, now we're going to go ahead to Jupiter. Jupiter is for all my homies that are dealing with financial struggles, or they're wondering what they're going to be able to do next with their money. The main card here with the energy of Jupiter was basically the Hierophant upside down, which is like needing to balance yourself. The main card here is the Seven of Swords. So it's basically saying like struggles are a choice, right? Like, you know, sometimes you have to let people go. Sometimes you have to like really come into like this deeper sense of self to really step into the highest vibrations possible. The Chariot energy comes out, and when the Chariot energy comes out, it's telling you that money is moving. You need to be in flow with money. If you stay happy with the vibration of money, and you stay like very like on a good note with that vibration of money, you're gonna just end up getting more money. But again, this card and this card are competing against each other, as well as this card. Basically saying like, if you're not balancing yourself with your money to be happy, then you are not going to achieve that happiness. So a little bit of this vibration here is letting go of what you think you want and just living, right? So maybe you have a spending problem. Stop spending for a while. Just force yourself to do that. That might be the most beneficial thing for you, so you can rebalance the scales in your reality and really enjoy the moment. One of the things that my friend said most recently, actually yesterday, was that, you know, one of the things that my friend was really going after for a while was money, 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 being rich, being rich, being rich. And like, being rich is always awesome, right? Like, it's a great thing to have. But he was very clear on the fact that like, hey, you know what? I'd rather be going in nature and being in nature by myself and not having to worry about all the bills and all the things that I'm doing, because that's free. It's about living in life right now. It's about living my life and knowing that I'm abundant no matter where I am, even if I don't have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in my bank account. So this is where the Page of Swords really comes in again, and it's basically like you're learning how to cultivate your reality. Being abundant is more than just having a bunch of resources. Being abundant is also having like tranquility. Are all your bills paid? Do you have money in the bank that's saved? Are you able to do things that you want to do when you're able to do them? That's the main vibration here that's most important around the whole entire globe. Here we have the Eight of Swords, basically saying you're only a prisoner of the things that you choose to imprison yourself to, because the woman of the Eight of Swords, she's not actually tied to anything. She's just choosing to stay there, convinced that she's doomed. Again, if you're convinced that you're doomed, the Seven of Swords is going to play in, and it's going to convince you again more of your doom. So how about you take a moment to relax here? Relax with your struggles with money. Relax with your struggles of having to attain more and more and more, and just be in the energy of the Three of Pentacles, which is enjoying the community and the abundance that you currently have. This is a very powerful message. Like, if you're still trying to get money and you're still trying to build yourself up, you're not living in the highest vibration possible. You need to be living in the vibration of self-abundance. Like, you are all the abundance you need. You have everything you need right now, and everything that is necessary is going to continue to come to you as you continue to grow. If you're a business owner, stop, and you've been like kind of like just building yourself off of the amount of money you can get, stop doing that, because that's actually the self-sabotaging vibration. Start being of service to people, and that's going to be the thing that really, really drives you forward. Now, we're going over to Saturn. Saturn is for all the people that were dealing with love, okay? So when we come over to Saturn, Saturn has the energy of the Tauri gateway, meaning that you are infinitely right now traveling through multiple dimensions to align yourself with the highest vibrational love. And this one is more so connected to romance, okay? So one of the things you really need to understand is, like, if you're being childish or greedy at the depths of your core and you're not looking at your own truths when it comes to love and how you contribute to love, it's going to self-sabotage you and it's going to become your nemesis. It's important that you do not try to lie to yourself when it comes to love. Now, this is one of those things that's really important. Like, if you want to have a partner because you're more so interested in the sex more than actually having somebody be a part of your life, say that that's your truth. Be honest about that. If you are honestly looking for somebody who's going to spend the rest of their life with you, why do you want them to spend the rest of their life with you? Do you need somebody who cooks for you? Do you need somebody who is kind to you? Somebody who can balance you out? You need to be very clear as to what it is that you're asking for in love, because if you're not doing that, then you're lying to yourself and you're ultimately going to create a false reality that rather keeps you away from love or gets you a lover that is not in alignment with you. We have the energy of the silver crystal, which is vibrating at the depths of your soul, okay? And we have the energy of the sailor Venus, which is again here, basically telling you that if you really choose to use love as your weapon, like love as your guardian, love as like the vibration that can answer all the things that you're looking to truly answer, this is going to be the way that you really unlock more. But again, this has to do a lot with your inner child. If you're somebody who is really single right now and you're struggling to understand why you've been single for such a long time, there's something in your inner child that's not allowing you to be in that vibration of love, the roses, okay? So you have to allow yourself to know that right now you're being protected if you're not having a relationship, because you would have ended up in a negative relationship. That protection is about to go down pretty soon once you've made your choice on whether or not you're going to change and be more progressive and honest with your love, or you're going to be a liar to yourself. Now, whatever reason it is that you want to be in a relationship, if you want to be in a polyamorous relationship because you like defying modern day monogamy, that truth is your truth, and that's what's going to empower you. If you keep telling yourself an alternate reality because you want to think that you're a better person by lying to yourself, you're just going to end up creating the alternate destructive quality. Coming back to the energy of Saturn with Sailor Saturn, the Saturn surprise, if you allow yourself to be even dark in your own truth, dark in your own love, and recognizing why it is that you really want to have this kind of love in your reality, you will surf into the ultimate reality that actually provides you love. This is about shadow work when it comes to love, okay? A lot of shadow work here if you're looking for a lover. We're coming over to the energy of Venus. Venus is also still very connected to this. So like if you ended up picking Saturn, then Saturn is going to also open up a little bit of more wisdom for you when it comes to the Venus understanding, and Venus is going to open up more understanding when it comes to Saturn. So Venus is all about your heart, okay? When it comes to the heart, you need to find ecstasy in what you're doing. Dionysus comes up in reverse, which is he's all about pleasure, ecstasy, debauchery. He's also tied to Saturn, okay? So you see how they're bouncing off of each other. If right now you're not feeling ecstasy in your own heart, in your own life, you need to start cultivating that. That's what's going to allow you to bring in more of the abundance and the blessings that you really are desiring. We have the energy of Apollo. Don't be jealous of other people. Don't be jealous of yourself. Don't be jealous of where you've gotten to. Everyone has a specific path. Oftentimes we want everything right this second, but you don't know why they're not coming through, right? It might be that you'll be better suited to answer this call in a couple years time, a couple months time, a couple weeks time. What if what you're looking for instantaneously right now is just not in alignment with you, and it would only just create more of the negative? So don't be jealous of other people if they're crushing their goals, if they've gotten in a relationship, if they've gotten their manifestations. You just keep doing you. Find ecstasy in what you're doing, and that's going to be the main thing. It's about you stepping into a sense of individualization, okay? Which is being the ultimate you that no one else can be. You have to understand that loving yourself for being so unique is the answer for you right now, and finding ecstasy during that time is the ultimate truth. We have the energy of Abaddon, which is corruption, malice, and pestilence. This is also allowing you to understand the darkness within yourself. Abaddon is one of the destroyer angels, or one of the, I believe, the seven Satans that they call them. And Abaddon is really, really powerful in the sense that he can show you the depths of darkness that exist not only in yourself but in the world, and how they all resonate, because we are a match for everything that we're existing in. You really have to allow yourself to recognize that everything that's happening to you right now is because you have chosen to be in resonance with it, consciously or unconsciously, and you have the power to change when you start loving yourself for who you are. And in my most recent podcast on Apple iTunes, I share that, you know, in one of my meditations, Gabriel came to me and he basically told me, like, you really do love being an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I do. And it was hard for me to kind of like admit that at first, but it's just something that naturally comes to me. I've always been super sarcastic. I've always had like the clap back response at my fingertips. It's natural to me, right? It's like picking up paint and a paintbrush and drawing a masterpiece. Like, it's always been something that's like just been there in my reality. Now, I choose not to be an asshole to people, but ultimately in my core, I recognize that by loving my own assholism, I'm loving myself deeper, right? Regardless of whether or not I knock that energy out in reality. And that's what this is all coming down to for you to understand. We have the Leper King, which is basically the sword of the law, bravery, self-discipline, and faith, which is, it's not always very easy for you to look at those darker aspects, like being an asshole and loving being an asshole and embracing that, right? Like, that can be a very difficult thing for some people to swallow, because it's not always something that you want to admit to yourself. Sometimes people are narcissistic. If you know you have narcissistic qualities and you admit that to yourself and you choose to love those narcissistic qualities even though you don't want to operate from them, that's still showing an extreme level of self-awareness, self-dedication, willpower, and, well, most importantly, self-love. It's about loving the darkness. It's not about like overcoming the darkness with a ton of light, because light is not the only thing that actually exists in the universe. Light is what puts in the material universe, or the universes that we get to interact with consciously. But on the other flip side of light, there's the void. The void right now is very powerful for you to take advantage of, and from the void we recreate ourselves. We have the energy of Erewhon, which is the master of the great hunt. He's telling you to accept your authority, have a natural balance, coming back to the energy over there, balance right now, and also having the energy of the hunt, which is going after this understanding of self. You need to hunt down the truest versions of yourself, and you will find what you're looking for. This will also require you to have a lot of focus, and this will also require you to be in this energy of hope, incompleteness, and yearning. Okay, so you have to yearn to want to know who you truly are, yearn to want to love yourself authentically, having an incompleteness by not saying that you know everything about yourself, because you can't. If you're an infinite being, if you're an infinite power, then there's no way that you know everything about yourself. That's why you're always constantly developing yourself and changing with your tastes and your beliefs and all these other things. So it's really important for you to be in this higher state of self-discovery. If this was powerful, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on what's been happening. Remember, the energy of the Four of Cups is very powerful right now, which is basically living in luxury. Your luxury is your self-awareness, okay? So if this was something that you really resonated with, let me know. Send me a little comment on Instagram or DM on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you, or put it in the comments below. Don't forget to support us on Patreon. If you're looking to become an ascension coach and help people become the ultimate healer, then go ahead, check out the links in the description below. Send you all the love, and I'll catch you in the next video.